Hi everyone, Marcus Mods here, and today we're going to look at how to modify our way huge Aqua Puss Mark III. So this is a great little delay pedal, and it's excellent at slapback, but the blend knob is not great on it. So when you roll the blend knob up, it really only is usable until about here, and then after that it just gets kind of wild, which means you really don't have a lot of control over the lower portion of your blend. So if you're just trying to get like a subtle little slapback mix, it's really hard to dial it in. So we're going to replace that potentiometer and fix that blend knob. Obviously today we are going to be using our way huge Aqua Puss Mark III, and then I've also got my mustache overdrive here for a little bit of overdrive. And we'll go ahead and start off by demoing the problem. So we start with our blend knob all the way down. You can see pretty standard stuff. We'll turn it up a little bit. You get a little more wet signal in, it's awesome. And we're going to turn it up to about the upper limit. And this is about where it stops being usable for me. Like, this sound is great, but beyond here, it gets pretty wild. Another thing that's always bugged me on this pedal is the feedback knob. So it's really not usable past about halfway. So I wanted to see if there's a way once we go inside this that we can fix it and make it more usable. Here we're just trying the pedal at several different settings on the feedback knob. You can see once you turn it up more than about halfway, you'll start getting feedback, which is cool, but it gets crazy way too quick. Alright, so now we've got our Aqua Puss, and we need to take it apart in order to modify the parts inside. So the first thing we'll need to do is take our Phillips head screwdriver, and there are going to be some screws that we need to take out. We'll have that one there on the top, and then these two down on the bottom. So we'll go ahead and take those out. And then we can go ahead and just pop apart our case. You can just slide it apart. And then we've got the inside of our circuit board here. Now we need to finish getting this circuit board out. So the next thing we need to do is take our knobs off and then take the nuts off of our foot switch and our potentiometers. So we'll go ahead and pull knobs off. Just using a little screwdriver to kind of leverage these off, get them started, and you can pop them off. There you can see we've got our knobs off. Now we need to go ahead and take our nuts off. So I use these little tools called rocket sockets. They're basically just no scratch sockets. You can get them at Love My Switches. Then we can just pop our circuit board out. Nope, I forgot the top jacks. You gotta unscrew those too. Now all we've got left is our circuit board. You can see here that the lugs for this knob, our blend knob, are hidden behind this jack here. So we're going to need to take that jack off to get to the lugs for those knobs. You can also see we've got a B50K there. We've also got a B50K for the feedback knob. So now we got to go ahead and desolder our jack here. So that's the first thing we need to do. For that, we're going to use our handy dandy desoldering iron, since that is the easiest way to go about this. So once that's heated up, we need to take this jack off, so we're just going to desolder these lugs. Looks like that jack doesn't quite want to come out, so we probably got a little extra solder left in there. So that took quite a bit more finagling than I had hoped it would, but you can see that we finally got our jack off of the PCB. And now on the underside of the PCB, we've got, well, let's see if that'll focus. Apparently it will not. But we've got our 3 PCB pins, which are right there. And then we've got the 2 little clamps that hold our pot in place. And we need to desolder all of those so that we can take the pot out. And while we're here, we're going to go ahead and do the same for our feedback pot, because we're going to replace that one. So we've got the 2 little pot holders here. We're going to go ahead and desolder those. Then we're going to go ahead and switch out the tip on our desoldering gun to a little smaller hole size so that we can more easily get at those little small PCB pins. So now we'll go ahead and desolder our PCB pins for our pots. We're going to start just taking out the blend pot first, since that was the main mod that I wanted to do, and we will try that one out, and then we will go ahead and replace the feedback mod after we figure out that that one works. Now, as you can see, we've taken our pot out, and now we need to replace it with the new one. So we're going to replace the pot that we just took out, which is a B50K or 50K linear, with an A100K or a 100K logarithmic. And then we're also going to jumper a 47 kilo ohm resistor between lugs 2 and 3 on this pot. So that brings the total resistance back down to about what our B50K was. We'll go ahead and pop our new pot in. And then we'll solder in the 47K on this side. Now we'll go ahead and pop the jack back in, then solder it in. So I went out and tested it, and it works, so that's good. You can see that I put a piece of heat shrink wrapping around our resistor there so that we're not making any unwanted electrical connections. But like an idiot, I forgot to film that part. Now, since we've got our blend knob fixed, we're going to take our feedback knob, which is right here, and do the same thing to it. You can see that's a B50K as well. So we're going to take that one and we're going to replace it with an A100K so that we've got that audio taper, which gives us more control at the low end of the turn. And then instead of jumpering a 47K resistor between lugs 2 and 3, we're going to use a 100K resistor. So now we're just going to do the same process with the feedback knob here. So now we've got the board all put together. I've tested it out. Everything is working. All we need to do is put it back in its enclosure. And there we have it, our finished pedal. Now we'll just do another sound check and we'll be good to go. Now we've got our setup again with our Mustache Overdrive and our modified Aqua Puss, and we are just going to go ahead and demo the Aqua Puss out. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, make cool shit.